The first thing we do is to weight the jar and the product to ensure we can achieve the correct free space between the product and the lid. The jars are filled with sufficient product to leave a void of exactly 10% of the internal jar capacity. In this case, a net weight of 190 grams of product for our 260 ml EXCELLSENSENG jar and 130 grams for the 185 EXCELLSENSENG jar. The EXCELLSENSENG jars are closed immediately, making sure that the rubber seal is both perfectly clean and correctly located. The jars are placed in the basket inside the pressure cooker. It is essential that the jars are stacked correctly in the basket. We avoid jars being piled on top of each other. Instead, the stacking is staggered to allow better water circulation and more consistent temperature around the jars. Plastic layer pads are placed between every two layers to prevent jar moving and colliding, which is not good for the process. The next stage in the process is to heat the jar and the air inside to create a natural vacuum. As it is heated, the air expands and escapes from the jar through the rubber seal until the cooling process begins. As the jar is cooled, a natural vacuum is created inside. The vent on the pressure cooker is kept open during the process and the pressure inside is maintained at 0 bar. In this case, we are using a pasteurization cycle of 15 minutes at a temperature of 80 degrees Celsius. This means the product temperature is increased from ambient to the required temperature, which is maintained for 15 minutes and then cooled down. At the end of the cycle, as you can see, the EXCELLSENSENG jars are perfect. We have achieved our goal. Another process is to sterilize the product at over 100 degrees Celsius while using an air vacuum machine to create an internal vacuum of 0.5 bar. This is the maximum level to avoid cap distortion. The filling and preparation of the jar is exactly the same as in the pasteurization process previously described. Every single jar is checked after it comes out of the vacuum machine. An attempt is made to open them. If airtight, the jar will not open. If the jar does open, we repeat the same procedure until a perfect vacuum is achieved. The EXCELLSENSENG jars are placed in the pressure cooker in exactly the same way as in the pasteurization process, always maintaining staggered rows for better heat distribution. When the pressure cooker is closed, the pressure is raised to 1.2 bar using compressed air. This level is maintained throughout the heating, sterilization, and cooling phases. After 15 minutes at 105 degrees Celsius, the jars are removed from the pressure cooker and cleaned. The glass lids of jar with metal cap need to be opened, dried, and then closed. The sterilization process is now completed.